meaner and tougher and whatever, they never fought. And if they never fought, you don't know what would happen. I mean, don't get me wrong, you can think that and there's nothing wrong with him thinking that. But I just think that he has a dislike for Floyd, and like a lot of people do. I'm not saying that, because a lot of people do dislike Floyd because Floyd put his greatness in your face.
We thought could have beat him, except Canelo. That's the only fighter we thought that was on his level was Canelo.
One fantasy fight I got for you at lightweight: Roberto Duran, Floyd Mayweather.
Don't even do it, because you're gonna piss him off again. You already pissed him off one time. Now you're gonna piss him off again, because you already know what I'm finna say.
It's him. Keep pissing Floyd off. Well, I'll say it. I don't see Floyd Mayweather beating Roberto Duran at 135.
You don't see it?
It can't happen. Yeah.
It's not happening, but I understand. But
Floyd, everybody.
Roy Jones Jr. has now fired back at Floyd Mayweather Senior after Floyd Mayweather's father trolled him by predicting that Roy Jones will be an easy walk for Floyd and would be knocked out in the long run. In an irony of things, Roy Jones Jr. has been the one calling out Floyd Mayweather for the fight. While the 50-0 boxing legend has been largely silent on the matter, luckily he has some vocal relatives who have spoken in his silence. And should any fight happen between them, it's likely Roy Jones Jr. will mercilessly defeat Floyd Mayweather, according to Floyd Mayweather Senior. He's older than Floyd, slower than Floyd, and not in shape like Floyd. So how is this even competitive?
Floyd didn't have the meanness and toughness to beat Sugar Leonard. And of course, after he said that, then Floyd clowned him.
Given Floyd Mayweather Sr.'s experience and insight into his son's fighting style, he gave a deeper prediction on how a fight between his son and Roy Jones Jr. would play out, as Mayweather Sr. was the one trained Floyd Jr. throughout his professional career, shaping his defensive style and ring IQ. He won't be able to hit Floyd. He'll be too slow and too unathletic to cause Floyd troubles. It'll be so easy for Floyd. As Floyd Mayweather predicted the outcome, he emphasized his son's technical skills and defensive expertise. However, considering Jones Jr.'s past performances and skill set, Mayweather Sr. also acknowledged the challenge his son would face against the aggressive and talented Jones Jr.
Because to him, he's a great fighter. And a great fighter always has an ego. And just like him, he has an ego. And Roy was a great fighter. And Roy probably would have been one of the greatest fighters ever if he never went up to heavyweight and come back down. But he did. And so you can't, and one thing about boxing is this, you don't just talk about your great fights. You gotta talk about every fight that...
Ultimately, the outcome of such a hypothetical fight depends on various factors, including the fighter's current skills and strategies. Given the age difference and weight class disparity, it's difficult to say with certainty how the fight would play out. Jones has not fought since April of 2023, when he suffered a majority decision defeat to MMA legend Anthony Showtime Pettis. The 56-year-old from Pensacola has left the door open for a return to the ring since he was beaten by Pettis, although this has yet to come to fruition. As for Mayweather, the 5-division world champion drew the curtain on his career back in 2017, just a short while after he got the better of Conor McGregor in their monumental crossover clash in Las Vegas, extending his unblemished record to 50-0 in the process.
Hey, y'all, I know y'all enjoy this thing of boxing. I know we play games and people have their issues and people have opinions. It's cool too. I got opinions and I'm allowed to say my opinions or speak my opinions. And if somebody was trying to send me a subliminal message, it worked, because if you want to prove that you're better than me, I'm always ready, wide open, ready to go. It's called.
Speaking on a social media live stream, former WBO World Heavyweight Champion Shannon Briggs shared his thoughts on a potential matchup between Jones and Mayweather. Who wins Mayweather versus Roy Jones? Roy Jones, you know what I'm saying? Whilst the likely scenario would see the two men heading towards an exhibition contest if it was to indeed happen, Jones has already spoken out about this situation and claimed he wants to face Mayweather in a sanctioned bout.
Oh, you already know. Ellie, what's the deal? Mayweather, who wins? Mayweather versus Roy Jones? Ooh, Roy Jones. Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? Ellie, man, thank you for that video. You the champ. Let's go, champ.
Talks regarding their fight were initially taken lightly, as Jones was the one who brought it up after Floyd's subtle response to him. These comments clearly irked Mayweather, which was proven by Floyd posting videos of him watching Roy Jones Jr. get knocked out in fights to his Instagram story on July 6th, which has since gone viral on social media.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Of course.
That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game.
Yeah, of course.
But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
Of course.
When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is, because look how much money he made.
Jones Jr. has now broken his silence on Mayweather's troll with a July 9th Instagram post that was captioned, "Public service announcement. What's happening, fight fans around the world? I know how y'all are enjoying this sport of boxing. I know we play games, and people have their issues, and people have opinions. That's cool too. I have opinions, and I'm allowed to say my opinions or speak my opinions. And if somebody was trying to send me a subliminal message, it worked," Jones Jr. said. "If you want to prove that you're better than me, I'm always ready. Wide open, ready to go. Just call me," he concluded.
Do you respect the Floyd 50-0, or is it like?
You gotta respect anything a person does and stay undefeated that long. So I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50-0 that I think, oh, he the greatest fighter all the time? Nah. Chavez was 80-0 at one point. 80. He could retire at 80-0. You go ever top that? No.
It's clear who he's speaking to with this PSA, and Mayweather is expected to accept the offer, and an exhibition fight might be somewhere around the corner. It's not often people get to see two boxing legends beef despite hanging up the gloves, but when it happens, everyone has something to say. One user laughed as he highlighted that Roy Jones Jr. should have seen it coming. "Listen, Roy should have known that Floyd is going to get him back. He can't say nothing, man," the user commented. Floyd Mayweather was the king of trash talk in his prime, and it seems he hasn't lost those skills yet.
Roy Jones explains why Floyd and he were so different.
No, we stood for two different things. He was a social media blowout. He blew it away. You feel me? And that fit his character, because he could do it, and do things the way he did it. He was smarter. I wanted to play King of the Hill. He didn't care to play King of the Hill. He wanted to play King of the...
Another user explained why Floyd Mayweather was better than Jones Jr. Not only did Floyd never get knocked out or knocked down, he also never tested positive for any PED. Roy did, the user wrote. Notably, Jones tested positive for androstenedione after his light heavyweight title fight against Richard Hall in May 2000.
My favorite fighter ever. He's my favorite fighter ever. You guys know I was a huge fanboy and all those things. I've said it repeatedly. But if they were to fight, I'll be rooting on Floyd Mayweather, man. I can't. Listen, regardless of how many times I've criticized Floyd and his career.
Meanwhile, one user appears to have taken note of Jones Jr.'s repeated jabs at Mayweather over the years. Roy has been talking bad about Floyd for several years, the user wrote. While it's possible that Jones Jr. doesn't harbor any personal animosity toward Mayweather, his philosophy on boxing clearly doesn't align with Mayweather's. Someone else revealed Jones's potential intentions behind dissing Mayweather. "He's trying to be relevant as he is becoming broke," the user wrote.
I think he's a nice guy.
Floyd Mayweather added in Roy Jones Jr.
I mean, look, once a fighter, always a fighter. Look, if you're gonna attack Floyd's character, he's gonna attack you back. That's just the bottom line. It's like with me and Berlanga. If you're gonna try to attack, like with me, I'm just having fun, because I can.
Well, an exhibition between Mayweather and Jones might not be received well, but it can make them good money. The next user seems to have sided with Jones Jr., leaving a sarcastic take on the matter. "Roy should have just taken easy fights like Floyd, and he would have been TBE before Floyd," the user wrote.
What do you think about Roy and Floyd going back and forth? I just talked to him. Floyd was really worked up. Roy was really worked up about it. What do you think, Andre?
They fighters, man. Okay, we're going this way.
They fighters. Isn't that the biggest fight in boxing today? Like, if that would have really happened, you think it could happen?
Watch out, Andre can still throw hands now. Don't mess with him like that.
They fighters, bro.
Roy said he could.
Floyd Mayweather is one of 15 boxers to retire with an undefeated record and has the second most wins of that short list of stars. Still, Roy Jones Jr. does not consider him a top 5 boxer of all time and recently explained why. The 56-year-old combat great appeared on Ring Champs this week and was asked where Money Mayweather stood among the all-time greats, specifically whether he was top 5 or not. No, not in my book, Jones said. Maybe top 10 in my book, but not top 5. The Pensacola, FLA, native clarified that he believes Mayweather is a highly capable and talented boxer, but there was one specific box that he did not check in his career.
Could it be that Floyd didn't have an equal?
He did. He did.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, stop. What's the guy named in the wheelchair right now?
Paul Williams.
He could have fought him.
I don't think he would have beat him.
I ain't say that. I said he could have fought him, though. And you don't think, hey, in my opinion, the only person that really had a chance in his weight class back then was Amir Khan. He wasn't touching Amir Khan. That time Amir had too good a feet. He wasn't fighting Amir Khan.
Amir was calling him out for years.
He wasn't fighting Amir Khan. Amir Khan had too good a feet. I already know this.
Here's what my problem is. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought them? Only Canelo Alvarez, that's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. One of the hosts mentioned Miguel Cotto and Manny Pacquiao, but Jones emphatically stated that Cotto was not up to par with Mayweather. He said that Cotto was already done and is only considered an all-time great among Puerto Rican boxers. As for Pac-Man, Jones felt like he wasn't on Mayweather's level because he had gotten knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez 3 years before he got into the ring with the Money Team leader. If he had fought him 4 years prior, it would have been something, Jones Jr. exclaimed.
Is there something that you want to elaborate on, or is there something that maybe you don't like about Floyd?
One thing I don't like is that you don't respect elders. You talk about Muhammad Ali got beat by an 8-0 fighter. The 8-0 fighter was an Olympian who was a monster, who, if you had a monster like that in your weight class, you wouldn't fight him at that time. You understand where I'm coming from? So, that being said, you're disrespecting the greatest fighter of all time. And if you're
He waited until Marquez knocked him out, and then he fought him. If I wait until somebody beats James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney? No, I don't. So my point is Mayweather didn't do it the right way. Jones Jr. also pointed out how Mayweather seemingly struggled against Oscar De La Hoya and Shane Mosley, who were well past their prime, which further raises questions about how he would have fared against talents on his level in their primes. Jones Jr. believed that Paul Williams and Amir Khan were two boxers whom Mayweather Jr. could have taken on during his run that would validate his status as one of the greatest of all time. Notably, he didn't just spend this interview jaw-jacking about what Floyd didn't do, but also suggested something he could do in the future to earn more of his respect.
If you let him move around and do what he want to do, he's going to beat you because he's very explosive and he's very mean.
I was going to say mean too.
To me, people don't give him enough credit. People always say, well, Floyd would beat Sugar. No, baby, Floyd is not as nearly as mean as Sugar was.
You don't think he would have beat him?
How? How you gonna keep him off of him? Sugar is a dog. Just cause his name Sugar don't mean nothing. Sugar is a dog. People don't give him enough credit for that. You gotta think, this in around between...
The host asked if he would fight Mayweather Jr. if the opportunity were available. Who would not fight him if that opportunity presented itself? He replied. He ain't the only one. But you wanna talk? I don't do talk. I do fight. Speaking on Ring Champs with Ak and Barak, Roy Jones shared his thoughts on the career of Mayweather and named the fight he feels could have gone the other way. He fought Shane Mosley at 38 years old, and it still was a good fight, and Shane almost took him out at 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya at an old age, and we still ain't sure. If you go look at the fight, I still ain't sure who won that fight, but this old Oscar De La Hoya, if you all-time great, Oscar De La Hoya didn't do that when he fought Chavez.
Roy Jones explains why Floyd and he were so different.
You know, we stood for two different things. You know, he was a social media blowout. You know, he blew it away. You feel me? And that fit his character because he could do it, you know, and do things the way he did it. He was smarter. I wanted to play King of the Hill. He didn't care to play King of the Hill. He wanted to play King of the...
Mayweather claimed victory over Oscar De La Hoya on May 5th, 2007, winning the WBC junior middleweight title with a 12-round split decision with scores of 116-112, 115-113, and 115-113 at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The blockbuster set pay-per-view records with approximately 4 million buys and generated over $120 million in revenue. Boxing fans and analysts have questioned in the past whether Mayweather should have walked away from the sport with an unbeaten record, as it has been argued that a number of his more memorable fights should not have gone in favor of the five-weight champion, including his 2002 showdown with Jose Luis Castillo, which was the subject of intense controversy within the boxing community.
Clips of his fights getting knocked out. What do you think about that?
Nah, Roy's a legend, bro. You can't come for Roy like that.
Now, who do you think was better in their prime? Roy or Floyd?
I would say Roy was better during the prime, but Floyd just stayed consistent.
However, Roy Jones hasn't always insulted Floyd's boxing skills. He feels he's good enough, and even compared Terrence Crawford to him. He doesn't just feel he's the greatest ever. If anybody can do it and pull it off, it's Crawford. So you can't tell him no, said Jones. I was the kind of guy that if someone said they were better than me, and if I can get close to your weight, here I come. I gave John Ruiz 33 pounds when I won the heavyweight title in 2003. I didn't care. I wanted to prove that I was pound for pound the best, and to do something historic that had never been done.
You know, it's a hard one to call, and I'm going to tell you why it's a hard one to call. It's a hard one to call because it'll all be predicated upon how Canelo approaches the fight. If Canelo approaches the fight like he's the man and he can box and outbox Terrence Crawford, he'll get beat. If he comes out and shows that he really wants to go out and prove the world that he's still the best, he might win. So it all depends on which Canelo comes to the dance.
That's probably how Bud feels right now. He wants to do something historic to solidify his legacy in boxing. Who doesn't want to see the pound-for-pound best from yesterday fight the pound-for-pound best from today? Who wouldn't want to see that fight? It's a mega fight. If he puts the muscle and weight on, how can you doubt him? One thing that's for sure is that he's going to go out there and fight and not just collect a paycheck. He's going to go out there and try to win the fight because that's who Bud is. If he carries the weight, it'll be a good fight. He can box just like Floyd Mayweather, and he can also fight. He hits and doesn't get hit. If he can take the punch at that weight, he'll probably win the fight.
Bud, Canelo, done deal. Looks like the fight is signed. What's your thoughts on this fight, man?
Man, it's a great fight for boxing. I know people don't agree with it, but if Canelo fights one inkling of the wrong fight, he's going to lose. If he comes out and fights the right fight, it's going to be a tough one. So right now, I think it can go either way, but it depends on what type of fight Canelo fights.
You've been a guy that's put up in weight class. How do you think Terrence Crawford should handle the weight? Should he come in lighter? Should he come right around the weight limit?
Come in as big as he can get. If you get to the weight limit, because there is a weight limit, get to the weight limit.
Jones, who fluctuated in weight during the latter half of his career as a 4-division title holder, said Alvarez should continue his career moving forward at super middleweight. It's definitely best that Alvarez stays at 168. I didn't understand why he went to 175 to fight Dmitry Bivol anyway, said Jones. He had already beaten Sergey Kovalev, who was at the end of his career. Bivol was in the middle of his. They are two different animals. He got the crusher at the right time. Go back down and dominate where you are at. Don't try to fight another one, because lightning ain't going to strike twice.
Canelo did what he had to do to get the victory.
What do you want next? It seems like that's going to be the fight. Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terrence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terrence Crawford out there. So that's why Terrence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
You'll see. Come 12.
Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are two boxing legends who have left an indelible mark on the sport. Both are widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound fighters of their respective eras, sparking endless debates about who truly deserves the title of greatest of all time. Mayweather, with his perfect 50-0 record, is considered by many to be the greatest pound-for-pound boxer in history. His impenetrable defense and ability to control the pace of a fight made him a unique spectacle. Additionally, his career was marked by extraordinary commercial success, with 4 of the 5 highest-grossing pay-per-view events in boxing history.
The smoke with Roy Jones Jr.
Well, whether anybody else got one smoke with, so we go damn well if you get in on one. Has there ever been a question? That's one thing that's different from Roy. That's the difference between Roy and Floyd. Floyd picked who he fought. Roy fought whoever the fuck came. He was my lady. So, don't get me fucking. Y'all made me cook. Don't get me.
However, Roy Jones Jr., an undisputed champion across 4 weight classes, holds a different opinion. In an interview with Real Life Productions, when asked if he considered Mayweather the GOAT, Jones Jr. gave a simple but emphatic response: no. Slick but punishing Jones was the first man to win a middleweight world title and go on to do the same at heavyweight in over a century. He held top honors in 4 divisions throughout his storied career, beating the likes of James Toney, Bernard Hopkins, and Antonio Tarver with an endlessly watchable style.
Versus Floyd Mayweather beef. Now, we all know Floyd was showing the videos of Roy Jones getting knocked the hell out. And I said, where the hell did this come from? Why he do him like that? Well, it stems from Roy. We all know, I don't say Roy talking, but Floyd.
Do you respect the Floyd 50-0, or is it like?
You gotta respect anything a person does and stay undefeated that long. So I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50-0 that I think, oh, he the greatest fighter all the time? Nah. Chavez was 80-0 at one point. 80. He could have retired at 80-0. You go up.
Mayweather famously finished his campaign with a 50-0 perfect record, holding belts in 5 divisions and dazzling with a defense that is widely considered the very best in the business. He was also one of the most lucrative stars the sport has seen, claiming 4 of the top 5 biggest selling pay-per-view events. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.